Hi guys, Jessica Gish here. I have another video for you today, and if you cannot tell, there's a theme here. The video today is trick-or-treating with little kids. So I have some tips for you and a little bit of advice. Take what you want, and here we go. Okay, so this video has to come with a little bit of a disclaimer. I realize that not everybody will get to go trick-or-treating this year. There is still a pandemic going on, and so if you are not trick-or-treating, then maybe just save these tips for next year. I hope that they are helpful to you. If you're not able to go trick-or-treating, you can still make it a really fun night. You could do fun things like, have you ever seen hanging donuts from a tree with a string? And you could try to, does anyone know what that is? You try to eat the donuts off the tree and you kind of race to see who can do it first. You can have a chili eat-off where you see who can eat the most chili. Everyone can buy their own big bag of candy from Walmart. This is my mom's tradition. So everyone buys a big bag of candy and then they watch a fun Halloween movie and everyone just gets to eat their candy. So if you're not able to trick or treat, I hope you can still have a good time. I hope that you find some way to enjoy this holiday, because I know times are crazy, but we shouldn't suck all the fun out of our lives just because things are going on in the world. My first tip for you is wear comfy shoes. You need some shoes that you can handle wearing for maybe a couple of hours, maybe only 10 minutes, so that you can be fully in it and fun for your kids. Also, make sure your kids are wearing comfy shoes too. Tip number 2, have something going at home. I recommend a crock pot. Have some kind of meal getting ready. So I throw in a bunch of soup ingredients, and then when we're done trick-or-treating, we all have something to come home to that is warm. You're probably gonna be cold. The kids might be hungry, even though they probably ate like 10 pounds of candy while they were walking. So have something at home ready to eat. You're gonna be tired. You're not gonna want to cook something. It helps a ton. Tip number 2, plan your path. So know the neighborhood that you're gonna go to. Maybe ask moms if you haven't been trick-or-treating with your little ones before in that neighborhood. Ask them where the good places are to go so that you know what is safe, what is an easy route to go to get back to where your car is. Plan out where you're going to park, how you're going to get back to your car, and how long that route is. Because if your little ones, if they can't handle very much, you might want to do like a figure 8 or something. So you go around one block and then your car is parked there, and then you go around another one and you just kind of keep your car in the central spot if you're not within walking distance of your house, so that you can get back home quickly if you need to. And that goes with my next tip, which is plan an exit strategy. So sometimes little kids, even bigger kids, they're done. They just decide they're done. You might have only been trick-or-treating for 5 minutes and all of a sudden they want out of there. So make sure you have a plan for what you're gonna do if they just have a meltdown, or if they're just kicking and screaming, I don't know, or if they're just so tired and they just can't handle it anymore. Make sure you know what you're gonna do at that point and be ready for it. Mentally prepare yourself for the idea that they might not be able to go all night trick-or-treating. You might be so excited. Maybe this is your little one's first time being able to walk on their own and get the candy out of the basket, but you're gonna have to be ready to accept that it might not go how you planned. My next tip is have some form of reflection or lights on your child. Obviously, the easiest way to go would be glow sticks. So get something that you can put on your child so that they can be seen by cars driving by, other people, and also so you can keep track of them. If they're running down the street and they've gotten a little bit ahead of you and you can't see where they are, you're gonna probably panic for a minute. So throw some combination of glow sticks all over your kid and let them run. The next tip that I have is to go with a group. So if you have friends in the area, if you have family in the area, if you go with a big group, it makes it a lot easier and way more fun. And then also you can have different ideas of where you're gonna go. That being said, if you do go with a group, again, Be ready to leave if you have to. If your child is just not handling it anymore, you might need to not be with the group anymore. And I'm sure they will be okay with that. Just keep some open communication, let them know, especially if you've gone with your little one and you know their temperament. You go with them to the grocery store, you know what they can handle. If it seems like they might have a rough time and maybe need to go home early, just let them know ahead of time, this is the situation, or just so that they can also prepare themselves for that. My next tip is so important. Eat before you go. I know that there's gonna be lots of candy and you can snack on that, but if you do not let those little ones eat before they go, they will probably be having meltdowns, they will probably be crying, and they will probably eat a lot more candy than they would otherwise. I mean, they're still gonna shovel it in their mouths, but this way you have a little bit of control. They have something healthy in their bellies so that they stay, their blood sugar stays moderated and they just feel a little better. Also, that will help you so that you don't become hangry and turn into a monster. The next tip that I have is kind of a no-brainer, especially if you live in a cold area, but this is for when you are picking out costumes. Whatever you buy, try to get it a little bit bigger so that you can fit layers underneath it. That way they can have a jacket or put some leggings under there, layer them up because they will probably get cold. And if they get cold, again, we're back to the meltdowns, and that is the worst. My next tip is this is for after you're done trick-or-treating, keep a costume box. So I have a box that I have in my garage, just a big tub that we put all of our costumes in when we are done, unless you absolutely know that they're not gonna wear them again because maybe they trashed it or something, I don't know. But I keep adult costumes and kid costumes in there because the worst thing that could happen is if last minute your kid spills soup or something all over their costume and you have nothing for them. If you have already a little stash, then you can go in there. Maybe it's their hand-me-down costumes. Then you've got something to throw on your kid and you're ready. Or if you need something last minute, then you've got somewhere where you can go and just grab something out. Or if some friends want to go with you, or you found someone who's like, hey, I think I'd like to come too. If you've got a few little extras, then it helps for them to be able to just throw something on and go with you. This is a bit of a space commitment. If you are a minimalist, you don't have to do this. This is just something that I do, and it helps a lot to make the Halloween season extra fun. My next tip for you is to bring a wagon. We end up with other kids. We go with a big group, so we end up with our kids and other kids all in this wagon. If I bring a stroller, I feel like they have a harder time climbing all the way up into it and back in and out, and there's no room for extras if they are there. Also, this way their candy buckets can sit right next to them. There's room for everything. I feel like it's more helpful. We just get the Costco wagon. They always have one, I feel like every year. It's like $50 and we use it all the time. We use it in summer, winter, obviously fall, all the time. So it's worth it to me. It's just nice to have somewhere to stick everything because I don't like to go with a bag. I feel like it's cumbersome, and I like to be able to just throw everything else extra that I need into the wagon. The wagon that we have has little pockets along the side that can hold water bottles, which that's another tip. Bring water. It can hold snacks, it can hold diapers, wipes, everything you need along the side. Also, bring wipes because there will be sticky hands. There will probably be chocolate drool. There will be who knows what else. So if you bring wipes, then you are prepared for any mess. I feel like if you're a mom, you're probably already going to bring wipes, but don't forget those. My next tip is to plan for bathroom breaks. Little kids cannot go very long, as you know, without having to go to the bathroom. If you plan a bathroom break partway through trick-or-treating, if you're planning to go for a long time, you won't have to worry about an accident midway through trick-or-treating, which would end the fun night, and that would be so sad. Another tip, if they do just forget or you have an emergency, bring pull-ups or size 5 diapers, depending on how big or little your kids are. But for the ones that are potty trained, I recommend bringing something that you can slip into their costume if they just gotta go so bad that there's no getting to a bathroom. So I do pull-ups because I can just slip it on under their little dresses. They're gonna be princesses this year. It works out great. And then we can keep trucking along on our way. That being said, make sure you bring something to put that said pull-up or diaper in. Maybe bring a grocery bag or something with you. The next one, bring blankets. My kids end up getting colder as they go, and then pretty soon they're done. And when they're done and they're not walking anymore, they start to get cold. They felt fine while they were running around because they were, moving around and keeping their body heat up, but then they get cold. So bring something that you can throw on them. If the kids are done, we just put them in the wagon, put a blanket on them. They are happy campers. And you can even toss them a granola bar. That's another tip. Bring snacks. Bring something substantial that you can hand them when if they just get hangry, the candy is not enough. Something that will fill up their little bellies if they're just getting kind of tired and cranky and hangry. I bring granola bars. Bring whatever works for your kids. Okay, my next tip is to be patient. Little kids, they are completely a lesson in patience. They just have their own plans for everything. So trick-or-treating might not look how you hoped it would. It might end up being a little more frustrating than you thought. Somebody might be having a meltdown or just a hard time. And I think it's important to try to keep your patience. Holidays, any big event, it doesn't always go how you might think it would go when you have little kids. You have high expectations and then things go, they might go differently. So be ready for that, and it's okay. It's okay if things go that way. They will still have fun even if they only get 10 minutes of trick-or-treating, which is great. They don't care. They are happy to have the time with you. They will remember it as a great experience, even if it doesn't go the way that you hoped it would. That's totally fine. My last tip is to remember why you're doing this, and that it's just, for me, it's for the fun memories. It's because we have a good time. So that helps you to know why you're out there when they are just having a hard time, or if they're going so slow and you've been stuck at the same house for like 10 minutes. That's okay, because they are gonna remember it fondly. They don't care how many houses they go to. I found that they don't even really care how much candy they get. It's just about having a good time for them. So as long as you are keeping a good, positive mood, then it will all go well. I guess there was one more tip. So then my very last tip is to get into it. If your little kids are like mine, they are so happy if you get super involved. My kids love it when I dress up. If you dress up, find something you can wear and just make it extra fun. Then it is something that they're gonna remember forever. Don't be embarrassed. Who cares? If you wanna wear a costume, wear a costume. Let me know in the comments below if you will be dressing up or not. If you are gonna dress up, let me know what you're gonna be, and also what are your tips. If you have any tips for trick-or-treating with little kids, I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.